Hey, this is Yuri and welcome to Blauparts. Today we're going to be demonstrating how you can change the engine oil on a 2015 Volkswagen Passat with a 2-liter TDI diesel engine. This is also going to apply to the 2015 Beetle, Golf, Jetta, and 2015 to 2016 Audi A3 models that came with the 2-liter TDI diesel engine. We're going to be using one of our BLAU oil change kits, which conveniently includes everything necessary for this oil change. We include the correct amount of engine oil that's in accordance with the VW 50700 oil quality specification requirement for this Audi VW 2-liter TDI diesel engine. We also include an OEM oil filter with O-rings and a drain plug with sealing washer. One of the great benefits of using our oil change kit is that it includes RAVENOL oil with USVO technology. This breakthrough technology offers several benefits such as improved fuel mileage and increased engine protection. To learn more about our oil change kits and RAVENOL oil with USVO technology, check out the link in the description below. So let's get started on the oil change.
Begin by confirming that the engine is warm. This will allow the oil to flow more thoroughly from the engine while it's being drained. To gain access to the bottom side of the engine, we're going to be lifting the vehicle. In our case, we're using an automotive lift. To confirm you're lifting the vehicle correctly, you can reference your factory owner's manual for the proper vehicle lift point locations and procedures. Next, remove the splash pan. This is held in place with a total of 9 T25 screws. One is located on the front side of the pan, 4 are located on the driver's side, and 4 on the passenger side. Last, remove the 3 T45 bolts on the rear side of the splash pan. As you remove the last bolt, support the rear side of the pan. Next, release the 2 locking tabs located on the front side of the pan. At the same time, pull and remove the splash pan to the rear of the vehicle. Next, using a 19mm wrench, loosen and remove the oil pan drain plug in a counterclockwise direction. This is located on the rear back side of the oil pan. As you remove the drain plug, allow the oil to drain into a suitable drain pan. Once the oil is drained, reinstall your drain plug and sealing washer, threading it in a clockwise direction. Using a 19mm socket and torque wrench, tighten the drain plug to the recommended torque specification of 22 foot-pounds. Using a rag, clean any excess oil from around the drain plug area. Next, to gain access to the oil filter housing, unplug the wiring harness and loosen the harness from the mounting bracket. This is located on the front lower side of the engine. To unplug the wiring harness, slide out and release the gray locking tab from the plug in a horizontal direction. Once the locking tab is released, the harness can be unplugged. Next, release the plastic mounting bracket holding the wiring harness in place. This will allow for extra clearance and space to drain the oil filter housing and replace the oil filter. Using a 13mm socket, loosen and remove the oil filter housing drain plug in a counterclockwise direction, allowing the oil to drain into a suitable drain pan. Next, using a 32mm socket, loosen and remove the oil filter housing in a counterclockwise direction. With the oil filter housing loose, guide and remove the oil filter and housing out from the engine. Next, separate the oil filter from the filter housing. Using a small flathead screwdriver, remove the old oil filter housing sealing O-ring. Lubricate the new oil filter housing O-ring with fresh oil. This will ensure that the O-ring is not damaged during installation, that it seals the oil filter housing correctly, and aids the oil filter housing cap removal during your next oil change. Install the new sealing O-ring onto the oil filter housing. Confirm that the new O-ring is seated correctly in the groove just above the oil filter housing lip. Using a small regular screwdriver, remove the old oil filter housing drain plug sealing O-ring. Next, lubricate and install the new oil filter housing drain plug sealing O-ring. This will ensure that the O-ring is not damaged during installation, that it seals the filter housing correctly, and aids the oil filter housing drain plug during its next removal. Install the new oil filter into the oil filter housing cap until you hear and feel the locking tabs click into place. Next, install the oil filter along with the oil filter housing cap. Align and insert the oil filter into the vehicle side of the oil filter housing. Lightly apply upward pressure as you begin threading the oil filter housing cap in a clockwise direction. Be careful not to cross the threads while performing this step. Tighten the oil filter housing cap to 25 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds. Next, install the oil filter housing cap drain plug, threading it in a clockwise direction. Tighten the drain plug to 5 to 7 Newton meters or 3 to 4 foot-pounds. Using a rig, clean any excess oil from around the oil filter area. Next, reinstall the wiring harness to the plastic mounting bracket. Plug in the wiring harness and confirm that the gray locking tab for the plug is re-engaged. Next, access the engine bay and remove the oil fill cap. Begin filling the engine with the required VW 50700 specification engine oil. The engine oil fill capacity for this Volkswagen 2-liter TDI diesel engine is 5.5 liters. Once you've completed filling the engine with oil, reinstall the oil fill cap. Next, start the engine and allow it to idle for 20 to 30 seconds. This will allow the engine's oil system to pressurize, giving you the opportunity to inspect and confirm that you have no oil leaks coming from the oil filter and drain plug areas. Once you've confirmed you have no leaks, you can reinstall the splash pan. First, line up and slide the front tabs of the pan in place. Begin by hand tightening the 3 T45 bolts at the rear of the pan. Next, install the remaining 9 T25 screws on the sides and front of the splash pan. Last, evenly tighten all splash pan mounting hardware. With the vehicle on a level surface, check the oil level reading using the engine oil dipstick. Extract the dipstick, thoroughly clean it with a rag, and reinsert it into the engine. Once again, remove the dipstick, confirming that the oil level is in the middle of the minimum and maximum level marks. Keep in mind that oil expands and contracts. As the engine reaches full operating temperature, the oil level will expand to the maximum level mark on the engine oil dipstick. This will indicate the recommended 5.5 liter oil capacity has been achieved. Reinsert the dipstick once the correct oil level has been confirmed.
So that is a quick overview on how to change the oil on a 2015 Volkswagen Passat with the 2-liter TDI diesel engine. If you have any other questions or for more information on our BLAU oil change kits, feel free to visit our website at blauparts.com. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.